Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Welcome. Welcome to the Reparations in Actions White Lies Shattered series live webinar. Finishing up the Black History Month fund drive for Black Power 96.3 WPBULP St. Petersburg. Please like this live stream and share it widely. My name is Brendan McCoy. Reparations in Action is a program of white solidarity with Black power. Welcome to everyone tuning into this special live episode of the White Lies Shattered series. We're coming to you live today on Facebook, YouTube, so simultaneously broadcasting as part of Black Power 96 FM's annual fund drive. And we are deeply honored to be here today in deep solidarity with Black Power 96, whose motto is not just explaining the world, but changing it. Reparations in Action is a program of white solidarity with Black power. We salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party for leading the African Revolution and developing the theory of African internationalism and the understanding of the colonial mode of production. African internationalism is the theory and worldview of the African working class that guides the struggle for African liberation, and which we credit for all of the understandings and analysis provided on this podcast. Today, this is a fund drive episode of Reparations in Action, and we are asking everyone to go to blackpower96.org/donate and contribute generously. Our minimum goal today is $1,000, and we want to exceed that. And I believe we can do that. We have some great give backs. We'll get into that later in the show. Before we move on, I do want to say we will be having a very special guest on later in the show. We'll be joined by Mr. Eddie Maltzby, station manager of Black Power 96. And right now, I would like to introduce my co-hosts for this show. Penny Hess, welcome, chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and author.
Uhuru.
Yes, Uhuru, and author of the book Overturning the Culture of Violence.
Yes, Uhuru.
We are also joined by Jesse Neville, chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. So welcome, both of you.
Uhuru, thank you.
Uhuru. Great to be here.
Awesome. And then, and Chairwoman Penny, I believe you kind of wanted to start us off with.
Yes. Well, I just want to join. Thank you, Brendan. It's great to be here with Comrade Jesse, chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, which is getting ready to hold its national convention here in St. Louis next week.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's very, very exciting. And as always, I am here from the African People's Solidarity Committee, the organization of white people under the leadership of Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party, going into the white communities to organize, as the chairman has put it, behind enemy lines,
Right.
to win other white people to take a revolutionary stand of solidarity with the African liberation movement, to understand this thing called the colonial mode of production, that colonialism is the main essence of this system. It is the DNA, and it is the only way, through the leadership of the anti-colonial struggles of African people and oppressed and colonized peoples around the world, that this system will be overturned. And I love that slogan, not just explaining the world, but changing it, and asking everybody to donate to this unique station today.
Yes.
We want to start with a really important something that we can raise and that we will talk about more in a future episode of Reparations in Action. We want to start with the Uhuru Solidarity Movement's statement on the death of Aaron Bushnell. Aaron Bushnell, just the other day, I believe it was last Sunday evening, he was 25 years old. He was wearing his Air Force fatigues. He was a member of the U.S. Air Force. He doused himself with lighter fluid, and in a very profound and heroic act, set himself on fire, stating that he could no longer be complicit with the brutal U.S. government's acts of genocide in his name. Something that we from the African People's Solidarity Committee, under the leadership of Chairman Omali Yeshitela, have fought for decades, this stand of no genocide in our name. And that has been the theme of our marches that we've had many, many, many years over the last 4 decades, called the March Against Genocide, the Walk Against Genocide in Oakland and many other places. So, you know, we salute Aaron Bushnell for that very, very powerful statement and, you know, action that forced the world to put its eyes on the responsibility of white people in relationship to the genocide that is going on right now in occupied Palestine, and the stand that we must take, you know, in solidarity with the Palestinian people, and recognizing that the African liberation movement is the greatest internal threat to the U.S. here inside the borders of the U.S. So I just wanted to call on Comrade Jesse to read that beautiful statement. And while he is doing that, we ask people to go to
blackpower96.org/donate.
blackpower96.org/donate. Please contribute to this station. Again, that is not just explaining the world, but changing it. So Comrade Jesse, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Penny and Brendan, and I'm really excited to be on this show, as always, to be a part of this incredible fund drive for Black Power 96.3 FM, and such an honor to have Reparations in Action, White Lives Shattered on this radio station. And I want to kick it off by saying I will contribute $25 towards our fund drive.
All right, all right.
I want to encourage other people out there to give whatever you can. Our goal today is $1,000. So if you can put in $1,000, go ahead and do it at blackpower96.org/donate. And I want to join Chairwoman Penny, join you in saluting the heroic stance of Aaron Bushnell. And we had an event recently with Chairman Amalia Shatella where he really summed up the significance of what Aaron Bushnell did. And the chairman said Aaron Bushnell is a giant for what he did, that we talk about him not with tears of sympathy, but with recognition that he is a heroic figure who took an incredible stand that represents the culmination of years and years and years of work by the Uhuru movement through channels like Black Power 96 and Reparations in Action to reach white people with the message that we will no longer be complicit in genocide against African people, against Palestinian people, against indigenous people, against anyone. And that is the stance that Aaron Bushnell took. So this is the statement from the Uhuru Solidarity Movement titled, "I will no longer be complicit in genocide," on the martyrdom of Aaron Bushnell. It begins with this quote from Aaron himself. He said, "Many of us like to ask ourselves, what would I do if I was alive during slavery, or the Jim Crow South, or apartheid? What would I do if my country was committing genocide? The answer is, you're doing it right now." Those were among the final words of Aaron Bushnell, the 25-year-old active duty member of the U.S. Air Force, on the day he set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., as a courageous protest against the U.S.-backed Israeli state's genocide in occupied Palestine. "I will no longer be complicit in genocide," he stated. "I am about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it is not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal." Uhuru Solidarity Movement honors the stance of Aaron Bushnell. USM is the organization formed and led by the African People's Socialist Party to organize white people to turn our backs on our own ruling class and declare, as Aaron did, that we refuse to be complicit in genocide. Aaron Bushnell was one of ours. We salute him. His profound act of moral outrage and resistance to the US-backed colonial genocide in Gaza affirms the decades-long work by the African People's Socialist Party to mobilize white people to refuse to cooperate with our government's atrocities against the peoples of the world, to say no more genocide in our name, a slogan of the African People's Solidarity Committee and Uhuru Solidarity Movement going back to the 1970s. We count Aaron among our ranks. We speak for the Aaron Bushnells of the world, who cannot bear to be a cog in the killing machine of US imperialism, who want to stand on the forward side of history. Aaron Bushnell was moved by the African resistance following the police murder of George Floyd to become increasingly vocal in his objections to the US military. Aaron's articulate statement last Sunday reflects an understanding that the genocide being carried out by the US-backed state of Israel in Gaza today is modeled upon, fueled by, centuries-long genocides by Europe and the United States against African indigenous people whose stolen lives, labor, and land form the blood-soaked pedestal of what Chairman Omali Yeshitela calls the colonial mode of production. It is that colonial mode of production that is responsible for the wealth and resources we as white people take for granted as the colonizers and settlers, whether in Israel, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or indeed the world's largest settler colonial state, the United States. As the African People's Socialist Party teaches us, white people have the responsibility to break our allegiance to our own colonial ruling class and government and join the rest of humanity in fighting for a world without war, genocide, and oppression. Our commitment is to organize the millions of white people like Aaron, who are overwhelmed with rage and horror in the face of the hideous slaughter in occupied Palestine, to join and build the Uhuru Solidarity Movement and work under the leadership of the African Revolution, fight for reparations to African people, refuse to be complicit with colonial genocide in occupied Palestine and in African and indigenous communities colonized within US borders. If you are a white person in the US military who wants to organize in solidarity with the colonized and oppose US wars of occupation, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement is your organization. The message of anti-colonial solidarity that shows the way forward for white people is the one the US government is working to silence with their bogus indictments against the chairman and the Uhuru Three, including Chairwoman Penny Hess and myself, who face up to 15 years in prison for fighting for the liberation of African people. In fact, Aaron's actions are clear evidence of the basis for the FBI's desperate attacks on the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement, who have fought for more than 5 decades to expose colonialism and win white people to end our complicity inside the borders of the US, including inside the borders of the US, which Bushnell admitted was the frame of reference for what he witnessed in Palestine. These attacks don't simply threaten our right to speak and advocate for the interests of African and oppressed peoples. They threaten the right of the people to hear this message, to hear the truth, to know that there's a way they can contribute to the struggle to rid the world of parasitic colonial white power. There are a lot more Aaron Bushnells out there who are looking for organization and the anti-colonial leadership of the African working class. The stand of white solidarity with Black power represents the possibility for white people like Aaron, who don't want to be complicit, who don't want to live in a world built on genocide, slavery, apartheid, Jim Crow, to join with the rest of humanity and struggle against colonialism. So in closing, I quote Chairwoman Penny Hess, who says, Aaron found himself facing the pain of the serious realization of what colonialism is, what the US colonial state and military does to the oppressed inside the US and around the world in our name. He began to understand the vicious US government uses us and expects our complicity, silence, or apathy in the face of its atrocities around the world. We salute him with the intention to deepen our commitment to organize other white people under the leadership of the party, build solidarity with the African Revolution and all indigenous and oppressed peoples for reparations, national liberation, self-determination, which is indeed in our true interest and the future of this planet. In every white person who joins the movement to end our complicity with colonial genocide, Aaron Bushnell lives. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Uhuru. Thank you, Jesse. What a beautiful and inspiring statement. And I know that it makes me very, very much more committed to keep fighting, to keep struggling for our right to stand in solidarity with the right of African people and oppressed and colonized people to be free and liberated, and to know that I don't want to live on this planet that is just built on genocide and oppression and repression and colonial violence that we see in the papers every day. And this is why I support Black Power 96.3 FM, the voice of Black power. And it is fighting for the anti-colonial free speech movement, the right of the colonized to advocate, to fight for their national liberation. And that begins with the foundation of this whole system, which is the genocide of the indigenous people and the kidnapping of African human beings and the theft of their labor. So, you know, this is a powerful time that we're living in. We can see every day the you know, just what this heroic struggle of the Palestinian people has meant. A very, you know, deep dividing line that we're facing inside this country, probably even in our own families, you know, and that the African People's Socialist Party is under attack as well. And I fight for Chairman Omali Yeshitela's right to fight for the liberation of African people, to be happy, to be free, to have the return of their own resources, and fighting for my right to stand in solidarity and fight for reparations to African people. I'm not going to let them criminalize the call from white people for reparations to African people. This is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Make it illegal. It's in our indictment because we talked about reparations and our right to say that what is undeniable recorded history, that this land, that African human beings were the first commodities of this whole system that created the wealth for all Europeans. That's just fact. And so, you know, supporting this radio station is part of the speech, part of the anti-colonial free speech, because I don't want my right to free speech at the expense of African people or anybody else on this planet. So supporting that, and I also am going to put in $100 today.
Nice.
Yes, we're going to make this goal, and we're
Yes,
going to
we
be
are.
thanking a lot more people.
And-
Comrade Brendan, I know you have a lot to say.
Yes, yes. First, I want to thank you both for going over that. I don't think we really could have had this program today without acknowledging the incredible sacrifice and the solidarity that Aaron Bushnell showed with this action. And I just want to say we all need to, you know, work to honor his spirit, his memory, and like you said, the best way to do that is to struggle against colonialism, to struggle against this system, and, you know, be a part of this, and participate in this fund drive. And I do want to shout out some folks who have already been giving. We are off to an incredible start.
Yes. We are.
Angelica, $50.
All right.
Yeah, Lisa,
Lisa.
$100.
Awesome.
Wow.
Janet, $300.
Wow.
So I gave $100. There was
All right.
All right, Brendan.
Got to be a part of it. Sandy, $60. Jesse, you heard him, $25. And $25.
And out in Waterloo, Illinois. Thank you for joining us.
And
Yes,
Waterloo, Illinois.
Penny, we all heard it, $100. We also have a contributor out in Indiana who is anonymous but participated and
Uhuru from
donated.
Indiana, that's where I'm
Yeah.
from. Good place.
Representing. So
Uhuru.
$5. So right now, so our goal today was $1,000 for just this hour. We have already raised $765.
All right.
We have
We can do this.
235 left to go. And I know we are on a bit of a schedule. I do want to kind of just get into, so, you know, this past year, the Burning Spear just released the Uhuru Movement's year in review. And I do kind of want to talk about everything that the movement's been up to. When you're, you know, donating, when you're being a part of that, this is what you're being a part of. So real quick, and you can find this in the Burning Spear. Get your hands on a copy. In January.
Burning Spear newspaper.
Yes, the Burning Spear newspaper. In January, the Hands Off Uhuru campaign, with the help of St. Louis Alderman Jesse Todd, presented the Dred Scott City of Refuge Sanctuary City Resolution, calling for the city to adopt it to ensure the protection of Black community organizers working for the empowerment of their community. Also in January, a St. Louis church that the African People's Socialist Party was in the process of acquiring mysteriously catches fire. This massive building, it was right across the street from the chairman and deputy chair's house, and just, you know, we were the party was about to acquire this, and it was going to be an important institution, and it's just gone now. In February, FBI continues their attacks, with Regions Bank placing economic sanctions on the African People's Education and Defense Fund, shutting down business and personal accounts despite a 20-plus year relationship. At the same time, this station came under attack by the Pinellas County Commission, revoking already awarded grant funding. In March, chairman spoke to hundreds of people in Washington, D.C. at a demonstration held by the Answer Coalition. USM and the African National Women's Organization both held their annual conventions. On March 31st, comrades held a demonstration at the Regions Bank headquarters in Birmingham, Alabama, demanding a boycott of this institution. In April, the DOJ announced the indictment of the Uhuru Three. I'm being joined by two of them here right now. So Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Chairwoman Penny Hess, and USM Chair Jesse Neville. In May, ANWO hosted the annual Black Mothers March on the White House. Also, Hands Off Uhuru campaign chair Moise Odom takes the case to Cuba and unites conference participants to support the demand to drop the charges on the Uhuru Three. At the end of May, the African People's Socialist Party and Hands Off Uhuru campaign joined forces for the African Liberation Day, an international day of action that held demonstrations in over 20 locations around the globe, including London, Jamaica, South Africa, as well as all over the United States. In June, the Black Power Blueprint, under the relentless leadership of Deputy Chair Onezene Yeshitela, unveils the Black Power Vanguard's basketball court in St. Louis with a huge celebration, joined by Olympic track star Jackie Joyner-Kersee, who had the honor of cutting the ceremonial ribbon. In July, the Hands Off Uhuru campaign formed the Hands Off Uhuru Fight Back Coalition, comprised of more than 40 organizations united with the demand to defend anti-colonial free speech. In August, Burning Spear Publications released The Verdict is In, Reparations Now, the 40th anniversary account of the African People's Socialist Party World Tribunal on Reparations and African People in 1982. And just after that, the chairman kicked off a tour for this incredible book. Also, we have in September, APSP members and Hands Off Uhuru campaign supporters packed a courthouse in Tampa during the historic hearing on the motion to dismiss the bogus foreign agent charges filed by the attorneys of the Uhuru Three. And then there's a lot more. I know we are kind of pressed for time. We need to get to our
special guest.
Our incredible special guest. But before we do that, I do want to shout out Johan, who gave $25, bringing us to just under $800. We are getting there, and we will get there. We will easily reach this goal, and I think we can probably
we're just
break it pretty easily.
$210 away from our goal, and that is so awesome.
We are right there. And
so
then
share this, and if you have friends, get everybody to come on and
tell them all about it.
Station and this show.
Send this the link out. You can find it on YouTube or Facebook, and make sure your friends are going to blackpower96.org/donate. And then I want to check real quick. Are we ready to bring our incredible guest on, Mr. Eddie Maltzby?
And I think Jesse's going to say something about the convention, and then we're going to be able to devote the rest of the time to our discussion with Mr. Eddie Maltzby, which is very much of an honor to have him on.
Yes, hang on one second, Mr. Eddie. Chair Jesse, can you talk a little bit about this incredible upcoming event?
Definitely, I'll be quick. First of all, I want to say, if everybody watching right now on YouTube put in just $10, we would reach our goal. So go ahead to blackpower96.org/donate. And that's not including everybody listening on the radio or on Facebook. So everybody go to blackpower96.org/donate, put in when you can. If one person can put in $210, we can reach our goal, and then just keep going and keep bringing in resources towards this incredible African working class owned radio station. So as far as the USM convention, first of all, I want to mention that tomorrow in St. Louis at 1 p.m. at Keener Plaza, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement is joining forces with the Veterans for Peace to hold a vigil in honor of Aaron Bushnell to declare no more genocide in our name. So you can join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Keener Plaza, USM and Veterans for Peace here in St. Louis. And on March 9th and 10th, we are hosting our national convention titled No More Genocide in Our Name. And that will be held here in St. Louis at the Uhuru House, 4101 West Florissant Ave, but also online via Zoom. You can register at nomoregenocide.eventbrite.com. It's going to be an incredible 2-day program, jam-packed with powerful workshops and presentations featuring Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Chairwoman Penny Hess, Deputy Chair Onizane Yeshitela, the director of media and communications for this station, Akile Anai, will be in person speaking.
Oh,
Chair
great.
Mwezi Odom will be here in St. Louis with us from the Hands Off Uhuru campaign. We'll have speakers from the Palestinian Liberation Movement. We're going to have Ward Churchill, the incredible revolutionary scholar and professor and author, Jennifer Jones from the Leonard Peltier Ad Hoc Defense Committee, and many more people I haven't mentioned. So it's going to be an amazing program to build white solidarity with Black Power. And we will be putting out a call at the convention for people to join this team to produce this podcast, this radio show, Reparations in Action. So,
Uhuru, and then
Very exciting. Sign up today.
yes,
come be a part of it. And if you are listening, from anywhere outside of St. Louis, come here. Come see it. There will be a tour of the Black Power Blueprint, and come see it in person and take it back to your city. So Uhuru, and then I just want to check, is Eddie Maltzby on? Mr. Eddie.
there he is.
Uhuru. Eddie.
Hurrah, comrades.
It is such a pleasure and an honor to have you with us. I just really, really salute you and all the fantastic work that you do as the station manager. Thank you for being on the show today, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Black Power 96 and how you became the station manager. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, thank you, comrades. First, I want to salute our chairman and leadership, the African People's Socialist Party, Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Onizane. I want to thank you guys for having me. At this time, we're in the middle of raising funds for the station, so I'm very, very busy, and I always have been, be a part of this movement. I am so proud to be a part of the movement. My name is Eddie Maltzby Jr. I am the manager here at Black Power 96.3 FM. The journey has been rough but real, and I can't say to you all how much this radio station is needed in our community, and it has been needed in our community for years and years before it ever landed here. I want to thank the chairman, Joe Walla, born here in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the station is located here in the heart of St. Pete, and he has been fighting for African people everywhere. I'm 100% blind. My slogan on the air as a DJ says, I don't see nothing, but I feel everything, and I do feel everything. I feel the enormous love for Black Power radio station. This station is only one of the premier stations across the country and around the world. You don't have to take my word for it. Do your own research and find out how much that this community is serving the community. This radio station is serving the community. When COVID-19 hit, this was only one of many stations across the country that was only given the information to Black people, African people that have been in gentrification. We have a lot to learn when it comes to white America. They don't treat African people the same and never have. People call it the United States. I call it like snakes, the United Snakes, because they are really doing an injustice to the people that have built the country, an injustice to black people everywhere, spitting on them, killing them, murdering them, raping. How can a country like the United Snakes of America say that they are helping people to be free when they're enslaving injustice black people on a daily, every day, every hour, on the hour? A black man is getting either killed, jailed, genocide, or robbed from their own resources and everything that they ever had for themselves. Black people would never be free long as there is a colonizer, long as there are people to oppress us. How could we be free? Well, let me tell you a way that we're going to be free. Revolution is going to happen. That's what this station is about, getting the message out. We are sick and tired. America had 400 years to get it right, and they have not got it right. And they never will get it right because they sat around the table. They sat around the table conjuring up rules, and that's why they call themselves the ruling class, conjuring up rules how to keep America and working class people depressed. And this radio station is one of the stations that is getting out the word and going way back to even Malcolm X days, Martin Luther King days, Fannie Lou Hamer. You hear speeches from the chairman of Malaya Sotelo saying how unjust black people have been treated. Gentrification. Right here in St. Petersburg, Florida, a black man doesn't have a chance. An African, if you're a black man, you're an African. You don't have a chance. I was born and raised in this city, and I've seen the injustice going on. Right now, I could barely live for myself because of the high cost of rent for a 2-bedroom apartment. You're looking at almost $2,000. And then the colonizer is saying you have to make 3 times the amount of money to qualify for that apartment or house that's in the heart of what used to be the black community. This radio station is putting that out. This radio station is housing the information that black people need to hear, and white people too. I want to thank Chairperson Jesse Neville, Penny Hess, Chairwoman Penny Hess, because of their stance of saying, white people, you got to come together. You have to come together and say, enough is enough. You need to fight. Lisa Watson, you need to fight for this radio station. They took the grant after you heard it just a few moments ago. Jesse, thank you. Because you heard where the county had approved $36,000 for this radio station to stay in power and then took it back. I was one of the people that went in front of them, standing 100% blind. Don't see anything, but I'm fighting for a revolution. I'm fighting for a stance for African people everywhere to tell them, how could you give somebody something and then take it away? Once you have said, this is yours, how can you take it away? A common copy of what they've been doing all their lives. Giving food stamps and say they're giving something and then take it away. When you apply for assistance from the government or state, the government, and I'll tell you what I know to be a fact because I've been a part of this genocide. I've been a part of this injustice. I go to fill out food stamps because I barely can survive. And once I fill out food stamps, they give me food stamps. Now they cut my check because I'm getting food stamps. What kind of BS is that?
Wow. I'm
fighting for equal rights, for education for black people, education, health. I can go on and on. It's deplorable what they're doing, and people should support this station that's putting out the message and the fire that I have. It's not because I would just want to raise funds. I want to put the fire out because I know what it has done for my people. I know what it has done to slavery. I'm watching and listening to so many movies, and this is sad, man. This is sad what's going on with our people. You oughta, everybody that listens on this call, you oughta give to this radio station. I'm not saying that because I'm the manager. I'm not saying that because I like the station. I'm not saying because I think you should. I'm saying it because it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
Black people have been spat on. been hung, been in jail, been in prison for the same things that America has done to other countries.
Uhuru.
And Mr.
The
Eddie,
Hulu comrades, I'm just being honest with you. Support
Yeah.
Black Power.
yes, and that's what this is
Support
about
Black
today.
Power 96.
And that was an incredible answer, incredibly comprehensive. You even touched on kind of what I want to get into now, the Pinellas County Commission, you know, that they're working to take away this grant that they had approved. Can you talk about, like, you know, what was that going towards, and
Well, of course, Brandon, let me tell you, first, I want to salute you, my brother, just taking the torch, from Jamie. Jamie, I want to salute Jamie also, just a remarkable brother, a comrade in the solidarity movement. Brother Jamie, is not here with us, but I just want to recognize him and you too for taking over and just filling in and being a cadre. And I want to say that. And for as the grant goes, we were rated fourth out of application of about 70-some people, 69 or so be it, ranked fourth, saying that we have did everything the application asked us to do, have submitted everything that we were supposed to do, and nevertheless, said we had it and then took it away from us. This is not right, and everybody can see it's not right. We have to do the right thing and stand up for ourselves here at the radio station. And yes, we were ranked number 4. And again, this community is suffering. This community that's what it's all about. If you want to give somebody a grant for doing anything in the community, why wouldn't it be Black Power 92 Point radio station? I can't tell you the numerous of people. We set out after we had gotten spat on again by the Pinellas County government with Renee Flowers and the Balaka, this white man called Balaka. I can say it. I'm not scared to say white man because I should say white man. If you are a colonizer, then I'm going to call you out. I don't have a thing that I can't call you. It is what it is. It's just what it is. And Renee Flowers is a black woman, and this is sad. I said this on the radio this morning. Sad for a black woman to sit at the table and not support Black Power. That's sad, man. That's sad. Renee Flowers is a black woman sitting on the chair, on the seat of the county saying, no, we shouldn't give it to this black radio station. How in the hell did you get the right to do that? And we have a mayor here in the same way. I called them out also. We have a black mayor. I appreciate you, brother, trying to get where you're trying to go and do, but don't forget the people that put you there. Don't forget the black people for where you came from. That's what I'm saying. And Renee Flowers should be damn ashamed of herself, being a black woman. There's nowhere in the hell I would be a black man, get in a position not to stand up for my black people and African people everywhere. And to the solidarity movement, Lord have mercy. I appreciate all of you all because you understand the leadership of the African People's Social Party. You understand what we've been through. You understand, and you gotten it right. You gotten it right. Support Black Power. And that's what the county did. They said that we can, and the equipment was going, Brandon, let us salute again to Jamie and Penny and Jesse Neville. Listen, the money that they took away from this radio station affected me because I'm 100% blind and I'm a station manager and I need accessibility to some of the equipment that we are buying and purchasing and getting here. And they took that from me. I am the poster child for Black Power. I'm 100% blind. And they took the resources that I needed to better this radio station and better myself.
Uhuru, Mr. Eddie Maltby.
Yeah, I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset, and I should be upset. What this county has done. Another attack on black people. Another attack.
That's right. That's right. On the voice of the African working class, on the community, on the voice of Black Power. And again, not just explaining the world, but changing it and changing it every single day. It's very courageous. Your statement, your stand is courageous. It's much loved, as you said, by by the community that is able to hear and listens to the base of Black Power 96.3 FM. We
Well,
salute,
Chairwoman Penny,
yes,
we had over 500 or 600 people come and sign a petition to say it was wrong what the Pinellas County did. 500 to 600
Absolutely.
people banging on this door supporting this station.
And
excellent work that you have done to really build that.
And I want to kind of speak to that because Black Power 96 Radio is 100% funded through donations from listeners and supportive businesses, which means it is community driven. That's where the accountability lies. This station is for the people. It is for the listeners. It is, you know, the listeners essentially are powering Black Power 96.
Yes.
And
Yes, you're absolutely right.
and that's why you know, everyone listening needs to contribute, needs to be a part of this because
Yes,
that's
yes, yes.
that's how this
Please
gets done.
do
is
that.
when
Please
you
do
gather
that.
and be a part of it. And
Yes, and
Yeah.
and I just would add that, you know, I think it's really powerful that you're saying, Mr. Eddy, that you are the station manager, you are 100% blind. And where
Yes,
else
yes.
can, you know, can a person with, you know, be able to be the manager of a radio station except Black Power 96? And that's what this city and the state, by that I mean the colonial state, is trying
Yes.
to destroy the ability
Yes.
to create programs that really serve and are led
The
by
community.
the masses of the people, and just how courageous you are. And I know that you are. I saw a video of you and Director Akile and others down before, I think it was the city or county commission,
The county.
county commission of
Pinellas
Pinellas
County.
County, turning it down, you know, so that there would just be more corporate rip-off radio
Yes.
that
Right.
makes millions of dollars for some white people. This is from the community and serves the needs of the community. And you are a
It really does.
key mover and shaker of that, that people, I know
Yes.
that people love and respect and are play such an
Yes.
incredible role as the manager of the station. So really want to salute.
Yes, and I'm calling on all the listeners to donate who listens to the radio station, who listens to watching right now on podcast. I'm sorry I couldn't be on video, but I really want to thank all of you all who are donating to this radio station. It has been under attack. The FBI brought an attack. I was the first person they called that particular day. I'll never forget it. We lost a few volunteers. We had some volunteers that stopped volunteering because of the attack, and that's what they wanted to do, but they didn't scare me any. 100% blind, you didn't scare me any. And I'm going to keep on doing whatever I want to do to help support my people.
Well, thank you so much. And I just wanted to say that, Mr. Eddy, we only have $160 more to meet our goal. And
I do want to shout out. So I mean, as you've both been saying, you know, colonialism, it systematically will attack community. And we've got a bunch of contributors today who that doesn't scare as well, including John, who donated $50.
And I just want to shout out, that's John Bedingfield, the father of Comrade Johan Bedingfield.
Yes.
So I just want to salute John for your great contribution and support for Black Power 96. Thank you, John Bedingfield.
Uhuru, John.
Uhuru. And we all
And Johan and
Yes.
everybody.
we also had a comment from Krona Ursa on YouTube saying, you know, at Mr. Eddy's statement reminded men of the song Uncle Sam, God dang, by Ali. And yeah.
All right.
Listen to that one.
Very, very powerful. So we just have $160 more to raise.
And would we
Yeah.
like to, I think we should use this opportunity to kind of pull up the PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
And talk about, we haven't even had time. There's too much to get into. We haven't even had time to talk about the give backs. You know, these special thank yous to everyone who's donating today. Uhuru.
Let's talk about the give back.
There we go. Yes, if we can, we'll move to that slide real quick. And yeah, again, blackpower96.org/donate. If you would rather donate via Cash App. So it's just,
Okay.
$ Black Power 96. You can also mail in a check if you're more old school. Just to address it to Black Power 96, 1245 18th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33705. And it's right there on the screen if you want to, take a screenshot or write it down or whatever you need to do. Okay, and then here's the special thank yous for supporting Black Power 96 Radio. Okay, all donors will get a custom Black Power 96 stack of sticky notes. You can see Mr. Eddie's slogan there. Get out that bed. Actually, Mr. Eddie, would you like to go ahead? Give us the.
Get out that bed!
There we go.
Black Power.
Awesome. So there it is. You'll be, reminded of that whenever you need to make a note to yourself, reminded of the community and a Black Power. If we want to go to the next one. Okay, so give $50 today, or if you want to spread it out, you can become a monthly sustainer at $5 a month or more. So this is an Uhuru Planet Colonialism definition tote bag. Awesome tote bag. You can kind of, wear it out and kind of show your support, and people will want to talk to you and ask, what this tote bag's all about. And you can bring them into the movement. You can bring them in to support Black Power. So Uhuru. Next one there. Give $100 today or become a monthly sustainer at $10 a month or more. And you will get this Black Power 96 drawstring bag. And I think I want one of these. So I am going to pledge another $100
Wow.
towards this.
Uhuru, Brendan,
It
awesome.
is a good looking drawstring bag.
That's exciting. And that means we only have $60 left.
Yes, we are almost there.
There could be three
Ooh.
people at $20 or one person at 60 or more. Let's surpass our goal, but absolutely we have to raise this next $60 and get to $1,000 for this incredible radio station that every single day is not just explaining the world, but changing.
Yes. Okay, and then can we go to the next one? I think this one might actually help get us over our goal today. So give $200 today and get yourself the chairman's new book. The verdict is in. Reparations Now. Really incredible book.
Oh,
I think it's
amazing.
for anyone listening, I think it's a must read. Absolutely. I mean, for anyone, I think it's a must read, but I think anybody listening today certainly should, if you're not, getting this as a give back, you need to make sure you're ordering this and get that
Lisa
book.
says she wants an Uhuru Planet bag, so she is giving another $60.
There we go. So we have met our goal. And
Wow.
We've got
That was so easy.
minutes.
We need to, let's go
Let's
over.
keep
We have
going.
5 more minutes. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Who wants one of those books? Who wants one of those bags? Uhuru, can we get to the next one? Okay, and then if you really want to represent, show your pride, show your pride in your community, give $300 today or become a new $25 a month sustainer. You can get a Black Power 96 t-shirt. Show that you answered the call, you supported Black Power 96, you supported the mouthpiece of the African working class. So Uhuru, and yeah, so we have met our goal. Let's keep going.
Keep it going. blackpower96.org/donate.
Yes,
And I just wanted to tell a quick story, if I may. Just wanted to appreciate Mr. Eddie for the great interview. And I used to live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And when I first moved there, there wasn't a Black Power 96. And I remember driving around and trying to find something worth listening to on the radio, and it wasn't happening.
Pretty awful.
And I remember when I met the movement, you know, the Uhuru movement was saying they're going to get a radio station. They're going to have a Black community radio station. And it was so exciting to hear about. And of course, like everything else the Uhuru movement says it's going to do, it happened.
does,
And
yes.
that radio station now exists. And just a little anecdotal evidence of the significance of this station, which has so much amazing programming, and in addition to the absolute best music you're going to hear
Right.
anywhere, African music,
Local arts.
exactly. It also brings, it brings news and analysis that you don't get anywhere else. And we talked about the FBI attacks, the case of the Uhuru 3, and there's been a real concerted effort by the ruling class media to shut out this case, which is the most important case happening right now that will test the ability of the US government to suppress free speech in this country. And there's been a real effort to try to wipe out this case. But last time I was in St. Petersburg, I had to take an Uber to get somewhere. So I was talking to the Uber driver and I was telling him about the case of the Uhuru 3. And he said, "Oh, I heard all about it on the radio."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, really? What radio station?" And he's like, "It's the best radio station. What's the name of it? They play such good music." I'm like, "That has to be Black Power 96, 90.3. And of course it was. So,
Yes.
so that's just another little example of how important this radio station is. And people have to go ahead and contribute. Cash App, $ Black Power 96. You can make your checks out to Black Power 96, send those to the Uhuru House, or go to blackpower96.org/donate.
Uhuru. We went over our goal, and
Yes.
thank you again, Anonymous in
Yeah.
Indiana.
All right.
Uhuru, I want to reach a lot more Anonymous in Indiana.
And I know,
Can
yes, Mr.
you
Eddie.
guys, yeah, I was gonna say, Jesse Neville, just want to appreciate you and Cindy Hess and Brandon and all of you all, and my leadership here on the ground. Keely and I want to wish her well, and want to say a story that people do support this station and they love this station, and we need to continue to keep us going here, to keep Black Power in power. But it was a brother came and knocked on the door the other day. I have two stories. I'm trying to make them real quick so we don't have long. One, the first story was a brother knocked on the door. I opened the door and I could hear a little transistor radio. He listened. He said, hey, you the blind guy? I heard you on the radio. I got some money for you. And he gave me $2. He said, here's $2. Because I was on the station saying everybody helps a little bit, He gave me $2. And as he walked away, I heard the buggy rolling away. And I said, all right, thank you so much. And I said, you okay? He said, I'm homeless, but I love this station. It keeps me going. And pulled off with the buggy, number one. Number two, this time around, a guy came and knocked on the door. And I could tell, I don't see, but I can tell he was kind of low down on the ground, but he was in a wheelchair. And he said, I can't come in. I'm in a wheelchair, but can you give me a bumper sticker? I like to put it on the back of my chair.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, thank you. So
That's beautiful.
amazing stories. Yeah, moving our community, Black Power. So
Yes.
just wanted to
Uhuru,
say that.
very
The radio station.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So Uhuru, and yeah, we are reaching the end of our program. Yeah, I did want to see, Mr. Eddie, I know you just kind of gave us some closing remarks, but was there anything else you wanted to say to the audience today?
Oh, I just want them to continue to donate to this station, incredible station. And it's one station that I said, no other station is like this station. I call it the little big station heard across the country. And no other station does it for the indie artists, people that have not gotten signed. African people all over the world have sent their music in to our station by just submitting their music to our email address, submitmusic@blackpower96.org, submitmusic@blackpower96.org, giving our African community a sound and a voice here at this radio station.
True.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie, and then Chair Jesse and Chairwoman Penny. Any parting words for our audience?
Well, it's an honor to be able to be participate in this powerful voice of the African working class. And you, Mr. Eddie, and Director Akile Anai, who is the coordinator of the party's whole front of Agitprop. And to say that I am very honored to be under the leadership of Chairman Omali Shatella, who's had this incredible vision and courage to continue to fight and build the right of African people to be free and self-determining and to have Africa back and to be able to live based on their own resources, control of their own resources and the return of their stolen labor. So I'm just looking forward to this new world that is being built every single day. And that's what it means by not just explaining the world, but changing it, like taking responsibility to be part of changing it. They're not taking the ability for me to hear Chairman Omali Shatella away. They are not taking away my right to fight for reparations
Yes.
to African people. We're going to fight like hell, push back the state, and we are winning under the leadership of the African Revolution.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Chair Jesse.
Just say unity through reparations.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie.
Thank you. Yes, thank you to all the listeners for donating. Thank you so much for management and
so
staff
much,
here at
Mr.
Black Power
Eddie.
96.
Uhuru. I think we can close out.
Vanguard up.
Vanguard up.
Vanguard.
Relentless.
Relentless.